Hi, welcome to VCC TV. Today we have with us Mr. P. Vijayaraghavan, CEO and MD of Lawrencedale Agro Processing or LEAF, to discuss about the growth plans of the company and the recent rounds of funding. Thanks for coming on the show, sir.
Sure.
Tell us more about Lawrence Agro Processing.
Lawrencedale Agro Processing is a end-to-end supply chain company. It started as an end-to-end supply chain company where we used to buy fresh produce from the farmers. We take it through a process where we hygienically clean and wash and grade and supply to the retailers through an end-to-end cold chain system. We started in 2009 and we evolved the entire model into a branded play over a period of time. We saw the value addition giving us the benefit one extra penny wise, right? Because the quality of the produce. So we knew that there is a chance for us to convert this into a better kind of acceptance as a brand. And in 2011 we introduced the brand as LEAF. LEAF stands for Lawrencedale Estates and Farms Private Limited, abbreviation of that company, which is our parent company.
You moved from food processing to branding in a very short period of time. How has the market changed since the last 2-3 years, if I may ask?
In 2011, as we introduced this branded packed vegetables into the shelves of the retail, the biggest challenge came up there was that consumers are seeing this kind of packaging on a generally consumed vegetable for the first time. They must have seen on exotic vegetable or some other vegetable which is a limited play, which is in a kind of reached by a kind of probably a greenhouse player or somebody like that. But generally consumed vegetable they were seeing for the first time, and they were kind of habituated to kind of touch and feel and pick kind of behavior. Right. So the initial tendency was to tear open the packet and pick what they want to pick, but slowly, a little bit with the kind of promotional activity, I could say that by giving them the reason why we pack, and making them understand what is the advantage of packing, and especially about the hygiene part, is not touched by anybody else. That behavior changed very fast. I could say the acceptance level of packed product, I could say in a year time, the entire the consumer behavior changed. Then we introduced the more number of SKUs in packed format in the retail stores in the past. I think we were on that success for the past few months.
Yeah.
So what we see is that a huge change in consumer behavior altogether is not only about looking for one product; they start looking for multiple products. They want to buy everything in that format. They understand the value, and for that I strongly believe that the media is also playing a great role, because the awareness which is created in the recent past is really good. Yeah.
So now talking about the branding in itself has a lot of problems, right? Because one, quality control has to be there. Second, not all produce can come from one place, and if you add different produce, there are different varieties that you need to add and all. How you're planning to overcome those problems? Yeah. And secondly, within that same question, there are a lot of people that have now entered branding of these products. How do you plan to compete in that market?
Okay. On the first question, it is definitely a challenge to control the cost. Okay, because this and control the cost and ensure that the branded produce what we are putting to the shelf is not comparatively highly priced with the general produce available. Okay, and to ensure what you said in the first point, the quality. Okay. To the last mile, there is a lot of investment which is required, because every single produce what we handle has to go through a certain process, and every process has to have an SOP. Okay, and unless we follow all this, the investments, investment bring in technology, and having technology alone will not help you to give the last mile, good product in the last mile on a consistent mode. SOPs in place, trained manpower in place, and it takes some time for all this to fall in place. So anybody coming into this play will have to go through this exercise, and it is very, very important that we follow this strict regime, otherwise it can affect your brand badly. Yeah.
You have quite a presence in South India. Are there plans for expansion into West and North?
Now we are present in all the 5 southern states. I'm talking about including the divided Andhra Pradesh. The typical model we work with is that we source produce from farmers in pockets where it is growing in the entire southern region, and supply to the nearest cities. And certain products which is grown in the hills, where the availability is 365 days, we process from there, and then we reach it to the relevant cities in the south. So working on this model, we are on the excess of covering the tier 1 and tier 2 cities in the areas we are present at this point of time, and also having a plan to move to the west, because that is the next area which of interest for us. So the idea is that we move into Pune and Mumbai by end of the next financial year.
Now there are quite a few players in the West that are already existing, right? What is it that you'll be offering that would be different in order to tackle them?
I feel it's not a question of tackling a situation. It is all about doing what we do as the best, right? We talk about quality produce, right? We talk about hygiene. We talk about freshness. So taking all this quality together, and the promise what we make to our customers who are B2B business players, of fulfilling the quantity and making it available in time frame. So the key things, right? So if I feel that if you're able to put all these things in a basket, and then we say that we'll deliver all this together, and definitely I feel that there is the market for us. And
now moving to the funding question, of course, which has been one of the most talked about things. The last time you raised funding was from George Soros backed company. Now there have been talks in the market about you raising $10 million more. How far have you reached in that target, and when can we see that?
See, we've been in discussion with quite a few funds, and most of them are showing interest in us actually to kind of to work together. It's about finding the right alliance. It's going to make the decision, right? It's about people who are kind of understand the space, okay, and the understanding the time how much time what requires for the turnaround is going to be the decision making basic parameters. In that line, we are pretty close to making decision. Yeah, probably should happen another 2 to 3 months time. Yeah, we are evaluating the options actually. Because most of the people whom we discuss are interested in our kind of business. It's about creating a space which is not available at this point of time, but it's a long time. It's a longer play for sure.
Have you zeroed in on the investors and all?
Well, as I say that we have quite a few interests which is working around us at this point of time, and whomever understand us better and who's ready to be with us, stay put for us first time till it turn around, and I think it will go in that way.
Now, to the last question, what are your targets for the year in terms of turnover, in terms of capacity expansion and all?
Now, we are doing around 35 tons a day at this point of time, and our target is to reach 100 tons by next financial year. Okay, I mean probably the mid of next financial year, because we have built up the back-end capability. I mean to chunk around the 200-250 tons. Okay, and if the further investment what we are seeking also only for that. Actually, this is basically the purpose is to improve our back-end capability, and now I mean also to kind of invest in some part into the building the front-end capabilities. It's about sales and marketing and other aspects. The idea is that or the target is that by 2018-19 we'll reach, as I told you, the next financial year is going up to 100 tons and crossing 250 tons by 18-19, and that's what the target is, and we believe that in 3-4 years time I think we see a potential to become a 500 crore company.
Okay. Now, as far as turnover is concerned, I think you're looking at rupees 30 crore of turnover at this point of time.
Yeah.
What's the target for the end of the year and there on forward?
Yeah, moment we touch 100 tons, we will be doing a turnover of around 300 crores around. Yeah.
By the end of this year?
End of next year.
End of next year. And this year?
This year we'll be ending up with 50 tons.
Okay.
Yeah, 50-60 tons. Okay. That's what the target is.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, for your time.